Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we take a fresh look at entrepreneurship, investing and business startups using high quality content. In this video, we're going to take a close look on how to write an ebook with ChatGPT in under 30 minutes. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. It will help our channel grow immensely. Thank you. So let's get started. The general idea is we're going to ask ChatGPT a question, and we're going to copy and paste that content into Google Docs. And later on, you'll be able to go back and proofread your ebook, make it more presentable, and sell it on Etsy or Amazon Kindle. So step number one. Step number one is we're going to navigate to ChatGPT, and we're going to use a blog niche that is out there, which is financial freedom. So there are hundreds of different categories out there where you can write an ebook. There is fitness, there is health, there is cooking, there is travel. There's hundreds of different categories where you can write an ebook. In this case, we will just look at financial freedom. We're going to navigate to chat.openai.com/chat for ChatGPT, and we're going to type in a question, giving me the 10 chapters for an ebook on financial freedom, and this becomes the table of contents for your ebook. So let's go to ChatGPT and you type in give me 10 chapters for an ebook on financial freedom and go enter. Now give ChatGPT a few seconds. And there it is. ChatGPT has given you some answers to your question. So introduction, setting and achieving goals, budgeting, understanding managing debt, investing for the future, building, tax planning, and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this text, because this text here becomes the chapters for your ebook. So let's do that. So we've got our table of contents within just a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to put some spaces there. So there you go, that's our table of contents. Now let's go back to our slides. Now I did this before. These are some of the 10 chapters for an ebook on financial freedom. Now step number 2 is for each of that chapter. So in this case, there are about 10 chapters. You can have 20 chapters, whatever you want. We're going to write a 100 words introduction for introduction to financial freedom, and then we're going to do the same for all the different chapters. So let's go back to ChatGPT and I'll say write 100 words introduction, and we're going to do this for introduction, because this is chapter 1, defining financial freedom and its importance. Okay, so this is, we'll write a 100-word introduction for essentially chapter 1. So give ChatGPT a few seconds to write this out. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and this becomes the introduction for chapter 1. Okay, let's go back to our ebook. So I can say this is chapter 1, and then I'll go, that is the introduction, and this is and then later on you can always go back and make it look more presentable. So let's go back to the slides. So that's really step number 2. So I did this before, and it gave me some of those examples there. Now step number 3, for each of the chapters, there are 10 chapters. Now you need to write you need to ask ChatGPT to write a 1,000-word essay with a specific tone. So you can say the tone is strong, childish, funny, executive, financial like, or depending on which tone you want for that, for each of those chapters. In this case, I want to write a 1,000-word essay in the strong tone for each of those chapters, and you need to do this the same for all your chapters. So let's go back to ChatGPT and then I'll say write a 1,000 words essay for I'll just copy this introduction. Okay, so now, and hit enter. Now what ChatGPT will do is it will write me 1,000 words essay for just that first chapter, and we're going to give ChatGPT a few seconds to write out that chapter. And while it does that, I'll go back to my ebook. So we've got the table of contents here. Say table of contents. I'm going to underline that. So this is basically going to be number 1. So that's chapter 1, which is this part here. I'll make this bold. Okay, and then let's put that onto page number 2. So let's do that. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna let ChatGPT do its thing, and let's go back. So it's still writing that down. So that's going to be this is the introduction. Give it a space, and then I will go. This will be the core content for this. So let's look at ChatGPT. It's still thinking. Which can be easier for you to obtain loans and credit. I'll give it ChatGPT a few more seconds to do that. Okay, so and that's essentially chapter 1, and then you can go ahead and do exactly the same thing for each of these chapters, chapter 2, chapter 3. Okay, looks like it's should be coming to end very soon, and you'll be able to choose that as well because there are 1,000 words there for chapter 1. You can say just 500 words, or 1,000 words, or 2,000 words, depending on how many words you want for that particular book. So let's go back to ChatGPT. Okay, so it looks like that's completed. So I'm going to copy that text again. Copy that text. Okay, and then we're going to paste that paste that now into our ebook. So underneath it. So there you go. So within 5 minutes, I was able to write basically or ask ChatGPT to do chapter 1. Then you can go back and say, okay, now that's chapter 2 there. Let's go setting and achieving goals. So say chapter 2, and then you can always go back later, put these on, add some spacings and all those things. So let's go back to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna say, write a 100-word introduction for setting and achieving financial goals. So now I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write basically an introduction for chapter 2, setting and achieving financial goals, and give ChatGPT. While ChatGPT is doing that, let's go back to our ebook. So that's chapter number 2. Let's put that onto a different page. ChatGPT, and then let's go back here. So now it's giving me the introduction. So I'll copy that and put that into the ebook. So we got chapter 2. That's all bold, but I don't want that. So ChatGPT. Okay, so that's the introduction, and then you go to ChatGPT and say, write a 1,000 word essay for in a strong tone for setting and achieving your financial goals. So I'm just going to copy that and go hit enter. So while ChatGPT is doing that, I will go back to the ebook. So you will need to do that for each of these different chapters for budgeting and saving strategies. So that's chapter 1. Then later on you can go back and proofread this. So let's go back to our slides. So that's really Step number 3 is getting a 100-word essay with a specific tone for each of the 10 chapters. If you have 20 chapters, then you go ahead and do it for 20 of those chapters. So I did this before as well. It came up with that. And then step number 4 is for each of the chapters, again, there are 10 chapters, write a 200-word conclusion for each of that chapter. Okay, so let's do that and do this the same for all the chapters. So let's go back to ChatGPT. Give that a few seconds, and we will be able to go ahead. Okay, this should be done in a few more seconds. Then what I'll do is for chapter 1, because this is essentially, maybe just to structure it out, you can go introduction, so that you know which one is the introduction, which one is the main essay, and then we're going to and do a conclusion as well. Conclusion. Okay, so let's go back to ChatGPT. Give that a few more seconds. Look like it's completing chapter number 2. Okay, so it looks like it has done chapter number 2, the main content of it. So I'm just gonna copy all that. Let's do all that. Okay, so let's go back to our book. So that was chapter number 2. That's the main essays. I'll go here. It looks like it's already written a conclusion. But for chapter number 1, let's write a conclusion. So I say write a 100-word conclusion for, and then you go back up here and can go for chapter 1, which was introduction. So just copy this, put this into there. So we're gonna now ChatGPT will write a 100-word essay, a 100-word conclusion for chapter 1. So once it finishes this, essentially we've done chapter 1, and then you can go ahead and do this for chapter 2, chapter 3. Depending on how many chapters you have for your ebook. So let's just give ChatGPT a couple more seconds. Okay, so that is the conclusion for chapter 1. Okay, let's go back to our ebook. So this is the conclusion. So just paste this into here. So there you go. Within a few minutes, I have written an ebook in chapter 1, and I'm with this information now. You'll be able to go ahead and add an an introduction for each of those chapters using ChatGPT, using these as the table of contents, or your main subject for each of those chapters. Alright everyone, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you don't mind, please take a moment to like and to subscribe to our channel, and it will help us immensely. Thank you.